What's going on? I want to go over the linear regression, how I'm playing it, what I'm looking for. Am I waiting for just a break? Am I putting an order out there and just letting the price go through it and get filled? Am I waiting for break close? Am I waiting for break close confirm? It's always dynamic, always discretionary. Just depends on you, your level of comfort, how much your size you're going to risk, so forth and so forth. Let me give you my general rules for playing this linear regression. On this chart, the linear regression are these green lines. So there's a green line here, right? I'm just going to highlight it in blue. Green line there, green line here, green line here. That's my linear regression. The start of today, we had a break to the top side of the linear regression. So here's your break and close. So I'm always break and close, okay? The only time I'm going to get in on like a first move through the linear regression is if there's already something happening prior. And I'll get to that setup in a minute. And then I'll get to setups that I just start leaving alone as well. Because frankly, you should have already, one, made money. Two, you should not be sitting there trading from open to close. Anyways, so let's look at today's price action. If we look at today's price action, we had this relative high here, this equal high all night long here in London. Off the open, it was an active 20 SMA play that immediately shot up to the linear regression. Right? So 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to chase this candle, especially it being the first 5-minute candle of the day. However, it broke and closed over the linear regression. Now, obviously the momentum was there, even though the game plan for me was to just let the long go. As you get a little bit more experienced, you'll start to see certain traits and patterns where not only can you make money for it going long, but you can also catch it back short. And let me show what I'm talking about. So a lot of momentum off the open. We break the London highs. We close over the linear regression. So there's my break and close. What am I looking for? Scalp. I'm not looking for 20, 30, 40 points. Scalp. 5 to 10 points, 5 to 7 points. Get in, get out. Break and close. Following candle confirms. Same way as a 20 SMA play. The reason why I'm looking for a quick scalp, because 90% of the time I'm always looking for quick scalp. Number two, we're at the top linear regression. I know that 8 times out of 10, when we start hitting the top and lower portions of the linear regression, it tends to overshoot and come back. Quick scalp. Now, the game plan going into this morning was I said let the long go completely, like don't even be involved in it, and wait for a candle to close back below the linear regression line, right? So that game plan played out even better because look at the break and hold or the break and close over the linear regression. Look at the failure and look at this candle close right back below the linear regression. Boom, you would be getting in right here. Your stop loss would be over the high. Where would your stop loss be on this one? Any closure back below the linear regression. Now, once we come down to the midline linear regression, we kind of break it, we pop, we break it, we pop, we break it, we pop. There's nothing definitive here yet for me. All this looks like is it's flagging to go down. Once this candle breaks and puts in this wick, not enough for me. What do I mean? I need to see a candle close below the linear regression. It can break below and come back all at once. So to answer a question, will I ever put an order sitting out there saying, okay, if we break this linear regression and it comes back over this price, I want to be long? Never. I will never have a floating order is what I call them. I will never have a floating order out there at a random level because I have no idea if it's going to chop around. I have no idea if it's going to flush. I have no idea what it's going to do. So I'll never have a floating order out there. I'm always waiting for something to happen. A break and close and a confirmation. A break and close and a confirmation by a rejection or a failure. So either I'm going to win or I'm going to lose. I need it to be crystal clear. So when does the price actually close below the linear regression? It happens right here at 7:40 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We close below the linear regression. Now it's game on. What do I mean by game on? If we start to confirm the low, whether you want to take this low or you want to take this low, doesn't matter. Another quick scalp, 5 to 10 points. Bang, bang there, bang, bang there, bang, bang there. At this time, you're already up 15 or 30 points. So it's almost walking away. It's almost quitting time anyways. And the market's only been open about an hour and 45 minutes. Let's get to when the market started to chop around, because there was one particular setup here that was beautiful that I did take part in. So as we come down to the bottom linear regression today, we come down, we pop back up. We come down again, sweep the lows. I'm looking at the daily 5. So I'm correlating now the linear regression with the daily 5. In this particular scenario, we sweep the low of day and touch yesterday's lows, and we touch the linear regression, the daily 5 perfectly, and we put in a hammer candle. Now in this particular situation is a time where I'm not going to look for a break and close. And in confirmation, I'm going to get in if price action breaks back inside that linear regression, because I'm going to look to scalp that, and my potential would be the 20 SMA. I'm going to look to scalp that as we break back over, and the only reason this is why I'm going to take it when we start to break above the linear regression is because we already had another series of events happen, and that was touch and test a daily level. So in that particular case, now I'm ready to go. Okay. And then all this other pitter patter stuff, it breaks and closes over. This is also a 20 SMA play. You can take that. But by this time, this is already going into after lunchtime. So my rules are not even going to let me trade these. And if I am, let's say I'm sheer boredom and I'm still trading these, I'm probably going to start to get chopped up and start to guess price action. But you've got to be happy enough as it is. The linear regressions, for me, they play out the best in the first hour to 2 hours. And that's when I'm mainly looking at them. I'm not really looking at them after lunch or in power hour and saying, oh man, we're reclaiming this linear regression. They're not going to be as significant to me. They're only significant to me when there's a lot of momentum, because price tends to shoot into them and then get rejected. Price tends to shoot into them and then confirm them. So just to keep questions and answers simple, I'm always waiting for a break and close. Let's take the first one, a break and close over the linear regression, and I'm waiting for a confirmation. Okay, I'm getting in. Always scalps. Always scalps. In this particular situation, we break and close, we confirm, I would be in and out of a scalp, and then lo and behold, what do? We break and close to the downside. So now I'm telling myself, this is rejection. We just got rejected at the upper channel. I can also scalp this one because I got plenty of room between the closure and confirmation to my 20 SMA. So it's break and close, confirmation, scalp, rejection, right? Rejection, break and close, confirm, scalp. One trade, two trades. Now, once we start testing the midline, right, the middle channel, we come down. I need to see a break and close. So there's no break and close. There's a lot of breaks, no closes until right here. Now we can do one of two things. We can use this range as a stop loss. High can go over the wick, or stop loss can go over any candle that closes back over the linear regression. Break and close, here's your confirmation. And to be completely honest, those three trades would have paid 5 to 10 points, and you're looking at 10, 20, 30. 30 points times 1 micro is $60, 120, 180 bucks. Like, that's more than sufficient enough with any prop firm. $50 log day. Even Top Step changed their guidelines to $150 a day to make it a trading day. That's it. So we don't need much. But it's always a break and close in the stop loss. If you're wondering where to enter, always a break and close and then a confirmation. Or if we break and close, but we're really close to like a daily level, like a daily 5, a daily 10, the yesterday's high, yesterday's low, always let it tag that area. And if you get a strong reaction off of that and you reclaim the linear, that's the only time I would jump in first move. And again, I'm going to keep this short, sweet, and simple. I'm only playing the linear regressions the first 2 hours of the day. That's it. That's my window. Does that mean that they don't come into play later on in the day? Absolutely not. They do, but they're not as powerful. The reason why they're not as powerful, there's not as much momentum later on in the day. Okay. So I need momentum to get rejected off these babies. I need momentum to reclaim these babies. Later on in the day, momentum ATR range starts to die up. So it starts to just treat it almost as like as a rubber band where it's going over, going back down, going over, going back down. I want momentum to slam the brakes on this puppy, and then I want the freight train to come through and confirm it. Okay? That's my best advice. Hopefully you can take something away from that.